Mario and Green Mario. Luigi. That joke right there sums up the entire Mario and Luigi RPG franchise. You see, for many video game playing humans like me, Mario and Luigi Super Star Saga was the first foray into RPGs. Super Star Saga makes you laugh. It gets you invested into the Mushroom Kingdom and into the world of Mario. Yes, it's the typical Princess Peach gets kidnapped and you gotta rescue her, but that was every Mario game. It may start off like that. Well, actually, it's not that. In the first game, they steal her voice and replace it with explosive vocabulary. Bowser is going to kidnap her, but decides to wait until she gets her voice back first. And of course, Mario and Luigi are up to the challenge. It may start off with that classic concept of Bowser and his shenanigans, but it turns into something much bigger. It's like every Mario and Luigi RPG, Bowser's planning to kidnap Princess Peach, but that's just the world of Mario, and something happens far bigger than the Mushroom Kingdom. The characters, Catletta, the Shroobs, Fawful, King Antasma, Paper Bowser, Mario and Co. are always almost bystanders to the chaos in the Mushroom World, and then they have to get involved into it. To anyone outside of the series, it seems like, here we go again, another Mario game. Some generic RPG game with Mario's name on it. But it couldn't be further from the truth. The games are technically turn-based RPGs, but you can invade and even counter enemy attacks if timed correctly, which is essential to the game's gameplay. If you ever played Mario RPG or Paper Mario, you know what I'm talking about in terms of being more than just an RPG game with Mario's name slapped on it. Superstar is an open-world RPG with the Mushroom Kingdom exploration not found in big 3D Mario games. Toad houses, the shops, the castle, the wilderness, all the characters you can talk to, all the Mario character appearances in the games, entire species living together, Yoshis, Toads, the inhabitants of places you visit, Dr. Egad making inventions for the bros, the beans you collect in Superstar to make stat level up items, the entire kingdom being invaded, and the multiverse concept in the second one where you fight alongside Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, Bowser inhaling Mario and Luigi, and the game taking place inside of Bowser as the title suggests in the third one, Luigi being able to summon a whole dream world that Mario can go inside of and fight alongside him, essentially making the game into two games, Paper Jam bringing the Paper Mario series together with the Mario and Luigi one. The main RPG battles are the core of the game, but the world exploration and story are just as important. The running jokes throughout the games like nobody knowing who Luigi is, or praising Mario way too much, Bowser's failed schemes, the mini games. Luigi is literally a surfboard. I rest my case. Now, ranking the games, most people have the third game, Bowser's Inside Story, as the best one. You can play as Bowser here, and Mario and Luigi are inside of him, after he gets scammed into eating a mushroom by one of the villains from the first game. There's giant battles where you have to rotate your DS sideways to fight. It probably is the best game in the whole series, but for me, my favorite game is Partners in Time, the second entry. I like the atmosphere, the bro moves, which, by the way, now is a good time to describe the fighting in the games. You can jump on enemies, hit them with a hammer, etc. You can control Mario with A and Luigi with B. And you have bros items, which include shells and fire flowers, which let you do special moves that require certain button presses and combinations to deal a lot of damage. You use your BP or bros points energy to perform these moves, kind of like magic points in other RPGs or like SP points or something. In the second game, they got rid of the BP and instead you just buy the bro items. Some people hated it, some people liked it. The Mushroom Kingdom is invaded by aliens, and then Luigi falls into a time warp hole, and you end up teaming up with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and now you have to control 4 players at a time, and you have all these crazy attack moves, crazy scenarios, funny interactions between them, and you have to fight together and defeat everyone together, and you split ways in the end. Some people even make theories about the timelines, and supposedly all the games are the Baby Mario and Baby Luigi timeline, since they don't remember the alien invasion, and because no one mentions it in later games. The only thing is maybe a Shroob reference and Bowser's Inside Story. Now, in terms of ranking the games, in my opinion, just my thoughts. Partners in Time at the top, Bowser's Inside Story in second, Superstar third, Paper Jam fourth, and Dream Team last. Which I know this list is blasphemy, but it's just my opinion. The way I ranked them in this chart doesn't really do the games any justice, so actually how about if I move some up like this? There we go. Mario and Luigi Dream Team. The first 3DS one, I remember being really hyped for it. I had just gotten my 3DS, and my first initial thought was, they copied Bowser's Inside Story too much. You go into Luigi's Dream just like you go into Bowser, and there's a 2D layout where in that section was just like Bowser's Inside Story, and there's also giant battles as Luigi. Looking back now, it was actually just improving and continuing what had been the highest selling game in the series even until now. Dream Team's world and the vibe and the music are really great. I still hear the music in my head nowadays, but for me at the time, it really felt like a grind towards the end where you have to collect all the bed parts, and I actually didn't finish the game and put it down and forgot it for years and years until I came back to it. Grinded it out, and the ending part is honestly for me some of the best in the whole series. The final battle is really fun. The bros moves inside Luigi are some of the best ones in the game. The Luigi Ball, Luigi clones. The game did come out in the year Luigi, so it had that going for it. The successor to it was Paper Jam. I didn't even bat an eye when it came out because Dream Team had been such a letdown. And then the remix came out and I was upset Partners of Time was skipped, so I didn't really pay attention to them. And their sales were poor because the 3DS was pretty much dead in 2019. And then Alpha Dreams went bankrupt. So when I decided to go back to Dream Team, I decided to play Paper Jam as well to close out the franchise and complete my playthrough of all of them around a year ago. And Paper Jam was really fun. There's lots of throwbacks to the older titles. The Paper Mario crossover should have been talked about more. Paper Mario has cool moves, and although he didn't speak, he added so much to the game. The whole Paper world spilling into the Mario and Luigi universe was a perfect idea, since Mario and Luigi RPGs were basically the Paper Mario for portables, and they were the spiritual successor to the Mario RPG. The one thing I wasn't a fan in Paper Jam was all the Toad missions. I get that it was important to find them to build a paper robot or whatever, but sometimes it did feel like a grind. And that's where I appreciated Dream Team more since I was so harsh on it thinking the game was grindy. Paper Jam had amazing music like always. The giant paper robot fights weren't my favorite, but the overworld was great. Paper Mario's transformations added a lot to the puzzle element, and the best feature was being able to run. You could dash everywhere, and now I just can't go back to walking around. You know what, let's put Dream Team a little higher, tied with Paper Jam. The remake should have been on the Switch since you could play the older titles on the 3DS, so maybe the sales wouldn't have been so bad for them, but I don't know. Alpha Dream could have had the same fate on the Switch. When the company did go bankrupt, it was the most attention I had seen the series get in a while, but at the same time it was sad to see because we were never going to get another game in the series, and Nintendo was staying silent about it. But looking back now, that was probably because they were working on the new game, Brotherhood. I can't believe there's going to be a new game. I really thought it was going to be one of those left in the past series, and it's actually a perfect game to close out the Switch. A game that isn't a huge AAA game, but with a run of I guess smaller AA games, it fits perfectly. Maybe it'll have a chance to show people what they've been missing if they never played a game in the series, and hopefully continue with new titles in the future. Still waiting on that Partners in Time remake though, but I think Nintendo will probably release a collection of them on the Switch, or the Switch successor or something if Brotherhood does good as maybe a stopgap for another title. I think the hurdle is the DS's dual screens onto the Switch, and the giant battles for Bowser's Inside Story. But you know what? Inside Story, you go up there too. The original one too, why not? Ah, heck, all of them are S tier. Wait, they're all S tier? Always has been. Okay, I guess I'm too nice to these games. I mean, once you play them, you get sucked into the Mario and Luigi world. You want to play and explore the lore, the characters and the areas and the enemies and the landscapes and the puzzles. You want to be like them, sound like them. What? You can replay the games or try to 100% complete them. Woohoo! You even want to dress like them. But eventually, you will be them.
It's Luigi.